So I'm training for the tactical games coming up in September for Utah, and over the last couple months I have been searching on YouTube for videos on how to train for it, and I haven't really seen any good videos talking about that subject, so I decided to make it myself. Now, a little bit of background on me and why maybe I have a little bit of experience involving this. I've done 20 Spartan races, 20 Tough Mudders throughout the years. I've done a Go Ruck Heavy, a Go Ruck Challenge, so kind of doing physical fitness events isn't something new to me. I've also done the Camp Pendleton Mud Run, I think 6 or 7 times. I've done a couple other races like that as well. So I decided to make a video myself about how I'm training for them. I've got, I think, 2 months until the games themselves. Now, this is the first in a little mini series that I'm going to be doing. Basically, this video itself is going to be on the strength aspect version of it. So I know when I get to the games, I'm going to have to pick up 100, 150, maybe even a 200-pound sandbag. But this is going to go over that strength portion of it, talking about how to build up the muscle and the strength so that I can do that. In other videos, we're going to go over some shooting aspects, maybe some shooting drills, HIIT type of workouts, so high intensity workouts, and other things to work on your cardio. Right now we're going to go inside, and very basic, in order to make this video as short as possible, I'm going to go over what exercises I'm doing strength wise. I'm going to do a couple reps and then move on to the next one to give you guys a good platform, I guess, to start out your training. All right, so let's get to it. All right, so basically we're going to pretend like it's Monday. I'm going to hit chest and tris first. On Tuesday I would hit, say, back and bis. And Wednesday I would hit legs and shoulders. So we're just gonna go over to the chest area. We're gonna start off with dumbbells and go from there. All right, so when it comes to chest, I personally prefer doing the dumbbell bench press over the barbell. I've seen a lot of guys who have been able to do 225 plus with the barbell, but then when you get free weights here, they can barely handle it. Doing this also helps you work out on your stabilizing muscles. So for flat bench, this is what I prefer. Here we go. All right, so now let's go on to the next one. All right, so one thing that I did forget to say at the intro is that I am also not a personal trainer. So none of these videos are gonna be on form specifically. This is just what I've been doing for the last several years and what I'm continuing to do in order to train for the tactical games. All right, so here, all right, when it comes to incline, I do like using the Smith machine just because with this, it locks wherever I need it to. And I can really push myself to true failure with this. So, setting it up in the middle at, what is this? I'm doing this one for now at 30 degrees. I do like going also to 45 degrees. I'll do about 3 to 5 sets, depending on how much time I have. And I'll just do this up until failure, right? So I'll do 3 to 5 sets of that. Then I'll swap it over to 45 degrees. Move this back a little bit. And basically do the same thing. That's actually not the best for me, even though I've got no weight on here. I still want it to about here, coming all the way up, all the way down. And I'm trying to do 8 to 10 reps of pretty much everything that I'm doing. So let's move on to the next one. All right, so continuing with the chest, I do like using whatever the heck this machine is called. Traditionally, I'll see people Traditionally, you'll see people that'll grab both of these, bring them out, and then they're just doing this, 10, 15 reps, whatever it is. But the problem with doing this is that you basically stop right here. I can't go any further than here. So what I personally like to do, just grab one and then bring it all the way here and past. So now I'm actually feeling my chest. a heck of a lot more. And I just keep doing this. I kind of hold it at the top. So I'm just doing this, all right? 3 to 5 sets, 10 to 15 if I can. Just kind of depends on how much time I've got. So now we'll move on to the next one. All right, so I also understand that you guys may or may not have access to the same exact equipment that I do. Different gyms have different machines like this, so I'm also gonna throw in a couple other variations that you guys can do if you don't have access to the exact same equipment that I do here. But continuing with the chest, and kind of like the last one that we did, but I actually prefer this one a little bit better. Kind of the same concept with the free weights where you're working out on your stability muscles when you're doing this. And here, I also feel like this is a little bit faster because I can do both of these where I cross over in the middle. So we'll come up, cross. In this specific case, it's right over left. Next rep, left over right, and just keep alternating as you're doing this. And just going back and forth. All right. Okay, let's move on to the next one. All right, so then another variation of a chest workout that I like here was just, another one right here, just coming up. Now you should also be doing push-ups. Push-ups are gonna be great, especially when you do it with your plate carrier to help you get used to doing burpees. But this is why chest is kind of important for the games. All right. Ooh, that's cool. Okay, so on top of that, we've got, like I said, push-ups that you can do and some other exercises, but chest is pretty important for you to work out. Now again, after I'm finished with chest, which we're actually done for right now, we're gonna go on to triceps, because as I was doing some of these pushing exercises, I was also engaging my triceps. So let's go and do some triceps. All right, so coming into triceps, a lot of gyms have the tricep rope pull down like this. Personally, I think this is a little too short, so a way to elongate it, right? If you don't have something like this that's pretty long, that helps you really get a full stretch of your triceps, is you can grab 2 of these, like you see here, put them together, and now it's almost as long as this one over here. But basically, we are going to work out on triceps. So from here, just do a pull down, right? I'm keeping my elbows as close in as I possibly can, chest up as much as I possibly can. I'm not moving my wrists. If you see my wrists going up and down, I'm not doing this just yet. So this is one way. And this is where I'm saying I'm not gonna be talking about working out on the long head, short head of the tricep, anything like that, but I'll do several of these, several reps, I should say. All right, so that's one way that I'll do it. Another way is when I'm coming down, I am now going to twist my wrists out. So I'm twisting them out. Also, my elbows are coming out. I'm doing this. So I really feel this on the outer portion of my tricep when I do it this way. So I'm coming up and down. I'll do another 3 sets of this, maybe 5 if I have enough time. I'll do that. All right. Another thing that I like to do, I'll switch this out. Grab just a single hand one. Grab it underhand, and come down and out. So I'm just doing this. Again, 3 sets, maybe 5, 8 to 10 reps of this. I will then switch it up, where first I was coming out with the palm up. I'll switch it around, palm down, and I'll go this way as well. So for the overhead pushes that you're gonna have to do, overhead carries, anything like that, you're gonna need shoulder strength and you're gonna need some triceps. So I'll do that. So I also like switching it out. Where now, if I don't have access to just a single one like this, I'll go ahead and I'll use the short end, or the long end, I should say, of this. but I'm right next to it, and I'm pulling down this way. All right, once I do one arm, I'll swap out. Do the other way as well. Gotta make sure I just don't get a pump on just one side of my body or on just one arm. So I'll do a couple more here. All right, and then finally, we'll switch over to dips. So let's go over to do dips. All right, so now working out on dips, tries, and it also works out on your lower chest. Personally, I don't like doing decline chest exercises. It just doesn't fit me personally. So this is the only way that I really work out on the lower part of my chest, but also on triceps. So here you want to really focus on having good form, going up and down all the way, as far down as you possibly can. So we're gonna go as far down as I can, coming back up, slowly down, up, slowly down, back up. Eventually you want to get to the point where you can do this with your plate carrier and maybe even with a little bit of extra weight. So if you don't have the belt that you can wrap around your waist and you can tie one of these plates to it, there's another way, and possibly even a cheaper way, for you to add more weight. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab one of these stretchy bands here. All right, gonna grab appropriate size kettlebell. You're gonna wrap this around. I tie it twice just to make sure this thing isn't gonna break on me. And then come and snap or slap me in the balls. But throw this over, like so. All right, what is this? 12 kilograms or 12 kilos. And come back up and do it again. All the way down, all the way up. Down, up, down, up. All right. That's pretty much it for triceps, at least triceps that I do. At the end of the workout, I would usually add some type of HIIT cardio component, but that's gonna be in another video. So if you wanna see that, subscribe, hit that bell notification so that way you know when it drops. But now, we're gonna pretend like it's another day and we're gonna work out on back and biceps. So let's get to that. All right, so now we are working out on back, pretending like it's another day. So we're gonna do back and bis moving forward, and I flip my hat around for you guys so that way it makes it a little bit easier for you to follow along. Now, if you have an issue doing just dead hang pull-ups with your own body weight, doing the lat pull down here helps because you can put various weight on here. But you can also use this in 3 different types of movements that'll work out on 3 different parts of your back. So starting with wide, all right, just come down and just down and up. I like to go really slow when I come back up. So down, I'll go kind of fast, and then when I'm letting this go all the way back up, I go nice and slow, making sure that I'm gauging my muscles, and then I'm getting the most amount of stretch that I possibly can. Do 3 to 5 sets, 8 to 10 sets. All right, then if you notice, my hands were all the way out here, all right, so it was more wider. I'm gonna put it a little more narrower. Come down. This is a different exercise, works a different part of your back. So I'm coming up and down. All right, so doing this. If you guys didn't know or didn't see the difference, right? Difference is first it was wide out to here. Second one is a little bit more narrower, coming down to here, all right? And then finally, for the lat pull down is overhand, right? And then coming down and pulling this way. Now usually I do like reserving this specific one for the last back workout, just because I'm also using my biceps more than I was using my biceps in the other two. So I like using this as a transition into actual biceps. But these three are working three different parts of your back. So I like doing that. All right, let's move on to the next back workout. All right, so continuing with the back exercises, we're gonna do the seated row lat pull. I see a lot of people that they will lean really far back on this. So they'll be leaning more like here. They'll be doing this. Personally, try leaning forward just a little bit and then pulling back. You're gonna feel it on your lats a heck of a lot more. And when I'm all the way back, I'm really trying to squeeze my lats as hard as I possibly can. Imagining like there's a tennis ball back there and I'm trying to really like hold it in place. And I come back down and come back, down and back. So I'll do this, all right? If you notice, I'm not rocking. I'm not doing this. I'm not all the way back here and doing this. I'm either sitting straight up or I'm slightly bent forward and I'm just doing this. All right? Now from here, I also do like changing up the grip. So for now, it was using this grip. I like just changing it up a little bit to simulate as if I was, say, doing a sled pull of a rope, right? Coming down and pulling with just one hand. So now I'm really isolating that back exercise and I'm pulling as much as I possibly can, contracting that muscle, really feeling it, going back and forth. And I'll swap it out, trying to make sure that I walk out of here as even as I possibly can. And again, I'm not leaning back, I'm not leaning too forward. I'm trying to be as upright as I possibly can, making sure that my upper body isn't moving, right? I'm not doing this. I'm just being as still as I possibly can, just making sure that I'm engaging my lats over here. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, so using the pectoral fly in the rear deltoid fly machine, setting it up. You know, a lot of people will set this up as high as it possibly goes, and then their arms are at a weird angle. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure that your arms are as parallel as they possibly can be without being, you know, at an angle going high or at an angle going down low. So set it up. And then here, this one's going to be a little bit weird because I got the mic right here, but just coming out. I was working on your rear upper back, right? So I was working out a little bit on your triceps and on your rear delts, which is your shoulder muscles, if I remember anatomy correctly. But yeah, coming out. Try not to swing when you're doing this, right? Try to go nice and smooth, maybe hold, pause at the top. I also like alternating it where I'll use this grip instead, like more narrow grip. And I'm doing this. This is helping build the muscles along your posterior chain, which is really important for you to do, especially when you're bending over and trying to pick up those really heavy sandbags. Make sure you don't throw out your back. So now let's move on to the next one, all right? All right, so continuing with the back in an effort to work out on your lats to help you for the road climbs, for example. Whenever you're doing it, go ahead and use this machine. Set up one hand, get down on the bottom, and I'll make sure I'm as close to it as I possibly can, and I'll come up, and I'm making sure that I can feel my lats when I come down. When I'm coming down, I'm squeezing as hard as I possibly can. So coming down and working on my lats. Again, it's gonna help with the rope climbs, which technically you should be using your legs, and I'll show you guys how to actually climb a rope as well. But if you wanna use your upper body, because maybe your legs are hurting, or you just did the stage where you had to do a whole bunch of box steps overs or anything like that, using your upper body can help. So just do that. And then whenever you want to work the other side, I'm just going to flip over. And work the other side. Just like that. Now using this same handle Continuing also to work out on your lats. We'll get up, add an angle. Make sure you get a nice deep stretch right along here and pull down and all the way back as far as you possibly can. Making sure that you are flexing your lats as hard as you possibly can. All right. When I'm done here, swap over to the other side. Coming up. All right, so now let's move on to another back exercise. All right, and then finally we're gonna do a rope pull. Just again, working out on the lats and helping work on grip strength, which is very important in the tactical games. Even though I haven't done one officially, I've seen all the videos like I already mentioned. I've studied them, and grip strength is extremely important. It doesn't take a genius to figure that one out. But setting this as hard as you possibly can, trying to go for about 30 seconds before you stop for maybe 15 seconds, and then do it again for another 30 seconds. So, you know, you're just doing this. Right now, usually I go 6 or 7, but for demonstration purposes, that's pretty much what I do. So that is about it when it comes to back workout. So now we're gonna go and we're gonna work out on biceps, which is pretty simple, kind of short, but let's get to it. All right, guys, so starting off with biceps, I like the easy bar curl because you've got a couple different grips that you can do on here. So starting off, I'm gonna start with the wide grip. Just all the way out here, shoulders back, wide stance, and I'm just bringing it up and down. All right. Really focusing on engaging those biceps. And if I can, I'll go really slow on the negative. So up and nice and slow. All right. So I'll just do that. 3 to 5 sets, 8 to 10 reps. After that, I'll switch to the narrow grip, right? Which is the closer grip right here. You can see that. And same thing. Come up, and on the negative, nice and slow. Up, nice and slow. All right? Nice and slow. So again, do that for the reps that you guys are probably getting tired of hearing me say. Then we're gonna go over to the seated curl or preacher curl machine, whatever it's called, and we'll continue the bicep workout. So a continuation of the biceps. Really like this because it stabilizes your body and it really prevents you from swinging a lot. So whether I start at the wide part or at the narrow part, I'm gonna work out on both. Again, really trying to go slow on the negative when I come back down. So we'll start off here and just really nice and slow. I'm going on the bottom and up and back down. All right, so this is preventing me from swinging, which really isolates my biceps. All right, from there, after I do my number of sets, I'll go to the wide grip. I'll do the same thing, all right? All right, we'll do that. If your machine is similar to this, and instead of being at, I don't know, maybe like a 45-degree angle, you can have it be completely vertical. Do that as well. So let me set this up real quick, show you guys what I mean. Move this, So now it's all the way down that way. And just come up. Also, again, both wide grip and narrow grip here. It's usually what I do. Coming up and down. All right, moving on to the next one. Hammer curl time. Grab your dumbbells. Doesn't matter if you have your back supported, at least not for me, if you have your back supported back here or not, or if you're just sitting straight up, because I'm kind of doing these somewhat slow. Try to do about 20, 10 on each hand per set. Going nice and slow. Try not to swing. And that's it for that. All right, let's move on. It should go without saying that you should work out on your legs. So doing squats, deadlifts, you should absolutely be incorporating that. Unfortunately, I did hurt my Achilles tendon just 2 or 3 days ago, so I'm not gonna show you guys how to do that, but that is probably the 2 most famous workouts or exercises that you could possibly do, so do that. But as an alternative, there are other machines that, even though I hurt my Achilles tendon and I have a bit of a limp right now, I can still work out on my quads, my hamstrings, and some other leg muscles that a lot of guys don't like doing, like the abduction machine and the induction, or whatever else that other machine is called. So I actually said it wrong. It's the hip abduction and the hip adduction. So a lot of guys I know don't like using these machines because they see a lot of women doing this, but you know, when I would run long distances for my Spartan races and Tough Mudders, I actually had some problems with my IT band. And as soon as I started doing these 2 machines, that problem went away. So, pretty self-explanatory, but you're gonna sit in here. All right, for those of you who haven't been in here, sit. I'm gonna go with a lightweight, but we're just pushing out. And so you're working out on the outer portions and also on your gluteus maximus. You know, the ladies might like that. So yeah, we're just doing this, 3 to 5 sets of this, and then we'll go over into the hip adduction from the hip abduction machine. So let's switch over here. This one actually hurts. And if you guys haven't used this in a while, or if you've never done this, you're in for a world of pain at the beginning. But I set this out as far out as I possibly can, almost as if I was trying to do the splits. Oh, that hurts. Okay. Not so gracefully coming in here and really squeezing those inner muscles. Yeah. All right, so working out on the leg prone curl machine for your hamstrings. I personally like this one over the seated one that you can do, but you know, working on your hamstrings, super important. It's an alternative to doing deadlifts, but I still think that you should do deadlifts as heavy as you possibly can, because it's not only working out on your hamstrings, it's also working out on your lower back, which this one, I never feel like it's working out on my lower back. So, because I can't do that because my Achilles tendon hurts right now, I've just been focusing on this one and just doing this, which I like a hell of a lot more. So, doing that. And usually, this is right next to the leg extension machine, which even when I do squats, I still like coming over here and doing this one as well. So now let's go over to the leg extension machine right over here. I really like this one as well in combination to doing squats, because with this one, I can really isolate both my left and my right quad, really focusing on that muscle group. And then when I'm done doing one leg, I can just switch over to the other leg and I can keep going. All right. So that is pretty much it for legs. We'll go into shoulders next. Starting off on shoulders, like the lateral raise machine. To do this, obviously you can do this with free weights as well, but there's a lot of people over there right now, so I like doing it this way as well, because I can do a couple different variations here, where you come straight out, hold, slow on the negative. All right. So you can do this, and you guys are probably getting tired of hearing me say 3 to 5 sets, 8 to 10 reps, but that's what I do. All right, so coming all the way up, coming all the way down. Another alternative is sitting sideways this way, and then to work on the front part of the shoulders, just coming straight up. And just kind of extending my arm basically this way, coming up. So I'll do those 2 variations on this, and then I'll move on to do another shoulder workout that I'll show you guys here in a bit. All right, so we're in a continuation for shoulders. To isolate some of the shoulders, go ahead and grab a dumbbell. And I'll just do a one-sided overhead press. Coming up, down, up, down. All right. So after you're done with that, let's do it a little bit faster here. Yes, they are 10 pounds, but this absolutely kills your shoulders. So having my palms down the entire time, I'm gonna come up, move it to the front, up, down, out, back down. That's 1. Try to do 10 of these. Out, that's 2. 3. 4, and count to 10. So do that. You might actually even have to start with 5-pound dumbbells at the beginning like I did, because it really does work out your entire, the front, the middle, the back for your shoulders. And so after you do these, you can obviously go and do the cable lat pull-ups, right, where you grab the cable and you're just coming up. Personally, I like doing it with the free weights over the cables, but try them both ways and see what you guys like the best. Outside of that, that pretty much ends the shoulders. Usually on this day, I would do some box jumps, some burpees, some other type of HIIT workouts. That's gonna be in another video, so if you wanna see that, again, subscribe, like, comment, tell me what you guys are doing. Again, none of this is meant to help you with your cardio. This was just the strength portion of the training. Other videos will come out with that HIIT and cardio stuff. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for stopping by.